The sun rose gently over the hills of Bethlehem, brushing the fields with a soft, golden light. In these fields, a young shepherd boy named David watched over his sheep. His eyes were bright, and his heart was full of song. He wasn't the strongest of his brothers, nor was he the tallest, but he carried something far greater within him, a brave heart that trusted in God completely. Every morning, David would play his harp, and the sweet melodies would dance across the grass like the wind itself. He believed that even a small boy with a simple song could make God smile. But little did he know, far away from his peaceful fields, a great trouble was brewing. A trouble that needed someone exactly like him. Across the valley of Elah, the Israelite army was trembling. A giant named Goliath, taller than any man they had ever seen, stepped forward day after day. His armor shone like fire in the sun, and his voice shook the very ground they stood on. He would laugh, a deep, rumbling sound, and challenge Israel, "Send me a man to fight. If he can kill me, we will be your servants. But if I kill him, you will be ours." But no one dared to step forward. Goliath looked too big, too strong, too impossible to defeat. One day, David's father asked him to take some food to his brothers, who were soldiers on the battlefield. As David arrived, he heard Goliath's booming voice once again, taunting the entire army. He saw soldiers hiding behind rocks, their faces pale with fear. He saw others whispering anxiously, their spirits broken. David stood still, his small hands tightening around the basket he carried. "Why is everyone so afraid?" he asked a nearby soldier. His brothers, seeing him, frowned. "What are you doing here?" they scolded. "This is no place for a boy. That giant could crush anyone. Go home, David." But David's heart didn't shrink. Instead, a fire ignited within it. He said quietly, but firmly, "If God helped me protect my sheep from lions and bears, then I know God will help me now." Word of the brave shepherd boy spread quickly through the camp, and soon, David was standing before King Saul himself. The king looked at him with kind but doubtful eyes. "You are only a boy," Saul said gently. "Goliath has been a warrior his entire life." David lifted his chin, his gaze steady. "I am not afraid," he replied. "God will fight for me." The king saw something pure and powerful in the boy's eyes, a courage not born of muscle, but of unwavering faith. With a heavy sigh, he agreed to let David face the giant. Down by a quiet stream, David bent and carefully selected 5 smooth stones. He placed them inside his shepherd's pouch. His simple sling hung at his side. He wore no armor, carried no sword. Nothing about him looked like a warrior, yet his confidence made the entire valley feel smaller, and somehow, safer. As David stepped onto the battlefield, Goliath roared with laughter. "Am I a dog that you send a child to fight me with sticks?" He thundered, his voice filled with contempt. David didn't step back. He called out, his voice clear and strong, "You come to me with a sword, and a spear, and a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." With a steady breath, David placed one of the smooth stones into his sling. He began to swing it, once, twice, 3 times, and then he let it go. The stone flew through the air like a flash of light, straight and true, guided not by a boy's strength, but by a powerful faith. It struck Goliath right in the center of his forehead. The giant stumbled, his eyes wide with shock. He swayed for a moment, and then fell to the ground with a deafening crash. The entire valley fell silent. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then, like a mighty wave, shouts of pure joy erupted from the Israelite camp. David, the shepherd boy, had done the impossible. Not because he was big or strong, but because his God was bigger than any giant. The people cheered, their fear replaced with triumphant celebration. David's brothers stared in complete awe, and David. He simply smiled and whispered a quiet, heartfelt prayer. "Thank you, God." That day, courage was redefined. It wasn't about being fearless. It was about trusting in something greater than yourself, even when the giant in front of you looks too big to overcome. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more.